start it yet because it's still 15 minutes to 6.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's
Rory reached out to me.
And then the open weight got Rory a couple of points to the winner. So I ended up redeeming myself in the final. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm making Rory Rock, and that's yours.
Very nice to meet you all. I apologise in advance, I'm horrible with names. Took me through to remember my wife's name, so if I don't remember straight away, don't worry. I just wanted to first thank Stuart because I started here when I was 14, 15, and if it wasn't for this environment, I don't know what I would have turned to elsewhere. I really needed this place as a kid, trying to grow into the person that I am today. And Stuart created that place. I don't know if there's many other people in Tasmania with an environment like this and a community like this around me when I first started training. I actually first started training in Wing Chun, did a couple of jiu-jitsu classes, was getting beaten up by 30-year-old tradies as a 14-year-old 60-kilogram kid. Managed to get one Hooper escape where I could roll people over from out. That was about all I had. But that was the start of me eventually going to Melbourne and training full-time under Lachlan Giles, who is one of the top jiu-jitsu competitors in Australia. And now I'm just progressing to hopefully go on to the World Championship, either under 86 or under IBJJ World, whichever one comes first. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys being part of the first seminar that I'll be able to teach, and there'll be many more in the future. But yeah, it's good to meet you all, and makes me very grateful to come back to the place that I first started. So thank you guys. So we'll get started. Today the main emphasis was going to be on finishing leg locks and defense from leg locks. So obviously they can be used in a self-defense scenario, but I would say that the majority of this style of game would be used in sports context. So if you guys were to learn this, I would say that you want to have good finishing mechanics, good entries, and good ways to escape. Regardless of if you have this in your game or not, it's always good to know, because if someone else's game is just leg locks, and you go, well, I want to play the top game, you can completely decide where the match goes. So we'll get started with the leg lock finishing aspect, and then we'll work our way back to entries, and then we'll work on some guards, so just some ways of keeping yourself safe, getting out of bad positions, and getting into our finishing position. Okay. At the very end, we're going to do a quick little, say like a competition kind of thing. So I'm going to start in a really bad position, and whoever wants to come in, beat me up, try and get as many subs or as many points. And whoever beats me up the most, there's a nice little rash guard and shorts on display from my apparel company that sponsors me, and they'll be sending one out. So if anyone's keen on that, stick around for the end. Otherwise, we'll get started. Maybe I'll just get a little bit of a circle around the middle, and anybody who wants to recommend or put their hand up to have their leg on the front line. I promise you I'm pretty safe, so yeah. How's it going, Steve? Alright, so what's going to be jumping here? Steve. So if you guys want to sit down, we'll go over some finishing mechanics first. So first of all, with the leg locks, we've got many different positions we can be in. We've got, so for example, if I use any terminology that might be in Japanese, I apologise. One of the people that I learned from says these positions in Japanese, so it's going to become ingrained. I'll do my best to stay away from the nerdy terms. So one of the main positions that we find ourselves in when we're in leg locks is single leg X, or Hashi Garami, where we have control of our partner's hip, our partner's knee, and our partner's ankle. Now, whenever we're in positions like this and we're looking to finish a leg lock, we always need to make sure that to get a leg lock that will work against someone who's high level or much stronger and heavier than us, we need to have control of all 3 points. So I need to have control of the hip, I need to have control of the knee, and I need to have control of the foot. So for a very, very basic foot lock, we're going to look to put our foot up on the hip, use my other toe, my other foot that's on the inside of the leg to curl up just behind the butt, bring my knees together, and usually we'll be looking to sit towards our side on our hip. Now once again, there's many different variations, and we'll go over a couple today, but just for those people who haven't seen this position before, I'm going to go over the most simple version. Once again, there's many different positions here, so my partner could be on a hip, he could be on a knee, where he brings his hips up off the floor, or alternatively, he could be standing up with both feet. Depending on my partner's position, will depend on what we're looking for. If my partner's standing, it's going to be very difficult to finish the footlock because their foot's flat on the ground. If I try to bridge or get any break, you can put weight on it. Whereas when my partner's on one knee, it is easy now to start to bring weight off this leg. Once weight is off this leg, it's pretty easy to get the finish. But they have a few counters they can do, like spinning and rolling out, for example. The last position that we can be in is where he's on his hip. Now, this is probably the best finishing position, but be aware, he has a lot of counters he can do here as well. So any people who are good at leg locking might start to attack their own submissions. Okay? So, once again, we've got our outside foot on the hip, toes facing out, heel pointing in. We've got our inside foot with just our shoelaces hugging the leg. So I want to make this nice and tight. If my partner tries to move his hips around from here, I should be able to stay reasonably well connected. So that's to control the hip. To control the knee, we're looking to bring our knees together. Notice this pinch I'm getting with my legs. I'm also doing a bit of a scissoring motion where I'm pushing my outside foot away and my inside knee I'm bringing it towards my chest. So now once again, if my partner tries to push himself backwards and walk backwards, I stay connected the whole time. Okay? Last but not least, we've got the ankle. Now, there's a couple of different grips we can have. Let's get everyone to come over this side, it's a little easier. My preferred grip here is to have an Achilles grip, where I've got my hand all the way through towards my sternum. And this is good because regardless of what my partner does, if he is able to clear my legs and start to come towards my back, it's very difficult for him to take my back to this grip. Another grip we could have is a shotgun grip. This affords more control over the actual leg, but it's very difficult to finish from here. Okay? Now I know I'm throwing out a lot of words and we're going to practice shortly, but there's a couple of key concepts that we just need to keep in mind. So, grip is personal preference. I like to have it towards my sternum here. Just for the very basic finishing mechanics of a leg lock, we're looking to, what we're looking to do is we're looking to bend the foot. Now, I always get these confused. We've got plantar flex and dorsiflex, if you like your anatomical references. Basically, when our partner puts a boot on, so they this is very difficult to finish a leg lock because we want to try and get the, when we're trying to break or finish, we're trying to break through the top here. Okay? So we want to get the toes as elongated as possible. So my partner puts his boot on. If I try to finish from here, even just with my hands, see how he's very strong here? Whereas the moment I can get the back of my shoulder and my tricep covering the toes, now even without any hip pressure, you can feel it start to come on. So keeping in mind, that's going to be the end goal. If my partner puts the boot on, what we're going to be looking to do from this very basic position is walk our elbow back and drop our shoulder down. So I don't need my second hand for this. We can finish this leg lock with one hand. I'm going to plant our hand out. I'm going to look to elbow walk back and drop my shoulder down. Notice what that does is drop his this way. If he puts the boot on again, it starts to drop his toes down. And the more I elbow walk and drop my shoulder back, the tighter it gets. Now once again, I keep my knees pinched. I'm doing a scissoring motion with my legs. From here, we need to get our elbow as far back as we can, and then we're just going to start to bridge nice and slow into the leg, and then we get the tap. Okay? Once again, all we're doing, so it helps to keep in mind what we're doing to the leg, because the more we understand what our goal is to achieve, the easier it's going to be. Okay? If we just try to grab the leg and try and bridge into it, we might be wasting our energy for 10-15 seconds. We haven't got this leg lock, and all of a sudden he starts to escape. We're like, what do we miss? So, make sure we've got control of the hip. Knees come in, we make sure we've got control of the knee. As a little drill, my partner's going to move forward and back. I'm going to stay connected. So if he tries to scoot back, I should be able to stay connected the whole time. We get to our elbow, I plant my hand out, and I'm going to start walking back. So I'm almost shoulder walking, but my shoulder won't touch the floor. Okay? Bring my elbow as far back behind my body as I can. You almost want to elbow your hip here. Now from here, I can start to slowly bring my head down towards the ground. Notice his hips lift off the ground, which means a lot of pressure on his legs. And slowly I'm going to start to bridge and get to tap. So there's a little drill. You guys can do it on both sides if you feel very comfortable with this. Get that leg lock position, bring the knees together, plant the hand, elbow, elbow, elbow. When you feel comfortable, don't bridge into it too quick, it just can hurt. So nice and slowly, you get your partner, see the reaction, and then once you get to tap, go. Any questions about that? This is pretty basic, so we'll see how everyone goes with this, and we should be able to do it on Alright? 3, 2, 1. I'll just come around and help everybody out. belly straight. Yes, so actually bring your thumbs into the this side, so you try to get back, mate. You should say something like that. Perfect. Now from here, you want to place your right hand back. Elbow back, so you know, like just up your back towards your hips. And when you're ready, you can start to bridge in and go away.
That one tucks into there. Just an opposition three. Right. So if you shut the back, breathe there. It's not as you said. Find that
that one, or you go to the 1 or 2 little elbow bumps. So I'd almost say 3, but you go 3 or 4. Yeah, really, don't feel like coming. Yeah, really, always looking my hips up. Yeah, and then that's why you don't really have enough space. Don't feel like I'm bridge. It's very hard.
I like the shoulders.
Okay, there's more. Yeah. Now, keep walking that elbow back. And your toes are going to look. You're almost like driving off foot into this hip. Another leg, if that makes sense. Down to the ground and hop over the top once. Now, we need to have a reaction for this. If we let our partner do this, it means that we haven't got any layers to our pre or our foundation of leg lock. So what I'm going to look to do first and foremost is hook this leg. I don't want my partner pummeling the foot into the inside and then perhaps scooping my leg up and going for his own leg lock, okay? So immediately I'm looking to hook this leg and a little thing, if you feel very comfortable with this, knee coming in, toe pointing out, like so if you try to pummel your leg in, it should just help me just for a little bit of time, stop it from getting that foot back in. Ideally in a perfect world I can just catch this leg, and now we can finish without having to worry about this leg coming back in. But just for now, we're just going to hook this leg until we get our main leg in place. So notice I started on the outside of the hip. Now my knees on the outside, but my foot's on the inside, so I can't go back to the same position. Instead, I'm going to look to bring, and my upper body's going towards my left. Okay, so once again, we're here. Make sure this is nice and tight first. We go for our finish, but our partner's too quick. Gets the hips over the top. That's fine. We hook immediately, controlling this leg so he can't pummel in. Just as a little drill like we did before, we've been moving backwards and forwards. He's going to try and pummel that leg in once or twice. Yeah, and we're just going to control it. If they do pummel in, they do get all the way in. Yeah, that's fine. We can like either kick the knee, re-pummel. Okay, simple. From here, I bring this leg here and I'm bringing my knee in close to my body. Now, my goal is going to be to extend and get my grip. Okay, my partner puts a boot on. Yep, I should be able to get a nice, tight, we call this shotgun grip, but all I'm looking to do is extend with my leg and my arms, get a bend in the foot. Notice I've also like covered his toes with my shoulder as well. Now to get the finish, I plant my foot on the hip or over the top, whatever personal preference it is, and I'm going to start to bridge. This will come on a lot tighter because of this grip. Okay. If you feel confident with this, our partner's going to turn up onto their knee. So up onto your knee onto this hip, good. And to finish from here, we keep the same grip, except this time our knees are going this way, and my upper body is like curling in on itself. So, yeah, so it's like turning like this. Okay? One more time. So here, there's the foot, hips over the top. From here, I control, I pummel. If we bring our foot over the top too early before we get this configuration, my partner can do the same thing as before, except now I haven't got a good grip. Okay, notice how the toes aren't pointed. He can plant his foot, gets weight in his leg, and now we've got problems. So I need to make sure that before I pummel this leg over, I get my grip and I get that nice tight lock on the leg. From here now I can pummel over the top and start to bridge in, hit the finish. My partner rolls to the side. My knees are going to go towards my right as my upper body goes towards my left. Did you want to see that on somebody else? Or?
No, it's all working.
All good? Alright, cool. From the partner, 3, 2, 1. That's a bit too much. Everyone good with that so far? All good, all good. Alright, we'll jump to that. 3, 2, 1. Enjoy it easy and drink it over the top. Okay, one more time. So we're starting an knee shield. This hand grabs the near side arm. This hand grabs the armpit. Okay? Something that can help as well if you come up on an elbow. Not necessary, but it does help, especially in bigger people because you get more lift to bring their body over the top. Pummel this leg in. Now from here, when I feel ready to go for this technique, I plant this leg on the floor. His shoulder connects to my shoulder, and I bring everything. So notice I'm on my left hip right now. I switch all the way through to my right hip, and I push away. We're in our leg lock position. If we want to, we can come up to the sweep, or we can do anything else from here. Okay? So one more time. Knee shield. I finally can put a bit of weight in. Cool, we feel pretty good here. We're going to connect to the wrist, connect to the armpit. Bring the shoulder towards my shoulder, pummel this butterfly hook in. I'm not kicking with this leg. Very important I overemphasize that. All I'm doing is planting this foot and I'm bringing his hips over the top of me. As I do, I extend them away, connect this foot in. This is probably the easiest swing for me. It'll take a little bit of getting used to, but all I'm doing, wrist, armpit, pummel my butterfly hook in, and I'm just pulling his shoulder as I forward hip escape in. Extend away. This hand switches from a pulling grip to a pushing grip. I'll bring out the leg in. Very simple. Any questions? Cool. 3, 2, 1. That's fine. Raise your right hand. Yeah, perfect. So now, push your way with your right hand. So you can use the right hand on the outside.
I was never sort of expecting to do that.
Got to get him whinging.
So that was good, but like the moment. Yeah, that's why it's like when you get to the position, it feels a lot easier to do straight away. You can probably see it. That has to be a driving foot. And I'm like, pulling under. This helps. So when I start to swing away, like even if you bring someone I should have stated at the start, if you don't place the hand on top, you just sweep them over. So, yep, so bring that leg to the inside. Now once you've got the grip, this hand will just go here. Yeah, that's fine. Now from here, you're going to start to sweep over your left shoulder. Good, now, notice where he was there, he closed his hand, you can just come down. Perfect. Yeah, well, without a full roll, So let's come back. It's an opportunity to start to enter into the legs. Okay? If we do start to sweep and he can't post for whatever reason, it's like, say for right? So, no, say if we start to sweep and come up on top, maybe we haven't got the leg lock, but we've got top position, which I would say is better than getting away at the end of the day. Especially if you're not in a jiu-jitsu setting or not training with your friends, and maybe outside and you're in a bad position, you're trying to connect, and maybe you start trying to sweep. They are staying on top. Notice how he's kind of floating with his hips. He's basing his hands out, so it's very hard to sweep with. This is when we're starting to look to enter the legs. Once again, if he comes back, we can get a connection, whether it's with the head, whether it's a 2-on-1 grip, and we can start to block his pose, which is him basically done. So it's a little bit easy to start to elevate him over the top. So one more time. Another little thing with butterfly half guard. There we go. Back to drop that knee down, right? So we go here. Another thing they can do if they're very technically savvy or they're just very tough is as you start to sweep, they base his leg on the ground. There we go. This can be very annoying. So one thing that we can do from here is we can continue to scoot our hips underneath, or if you really like the butterfly sweep, you can bring your foot to the outside. Now from here, I continue to bring his arm forward and sweep him over the top. I'm not really kicking with this leg as much as I'm just holding him in place. Okay, so whether we're in a butterfly or a half butterfly or any position, I'm like keeping this leg in place and my body's driving over it, okay? If he does, say he hips away, like he did before, yeah, if he comes to here, we can come up and start to stand up, okay? There's nothing stopping us from standing up there. When we're on our hips, and my partner's crowding me, it's very difficult to stand up here, okay? Like, especially if it's holding into my head. If he drives back into me, regardless of the weight, it's going to be very difficult to come up at the end of the day. But if I can get him off balance, and I notice you're very good with your base, so if I start to off balance and maybe he just gets his hips out, see how much his hips start to come up again? We go back to the leg lock. Come back, so this time, I go to sweep him, he's going to base out, start to stand up. Okay, so you've got to play between that kind of like, which way are his hips going? If they're floating over the top of me, if I can pull them up, perfect, we enter the legs. Okay, you can go all the way through there, but it's pretty easy once you get his weight here to just bring that leg up on top. There is other entries too, where we get his weight all the way over, we can enter this near side leg, but they're a bit more advanced, so just keep it in mind when you come back. Whichever way his hips are leading, if his hips are coming over the top of me, we enter the legs. If his hips are going away from me, yeah, they start to go that way. We can either continue with our sweeps, or if we feel enough space, we can also start to come out and get back to a top position. Which, at the end of the day, is better than being stuck on your back, unless you've got a really, really good guard. So, finishing there with a half guard. Any questions at all about the leg locks, or about the knee shield? Being on top, being on bottom? No? All good with that? Any questions?
Other than just pushing forward, get your foot on the ground, what's your best next step?
So I've got a fair few. Now, I've been working specifically on Australian pull-ups for the last 8 months against all guys in the gym. Getting to the stage where I can just finish about most of them, but I have the problem of like, I'm going for a leg lock, some strong guy or even technically good guy will start attacking my leg. I better have something to deal with this. I'll use you, so, for example. So we've got 3 different ways or avenues we can go when someone is attacking our leg. So just connect fully, like as far as you want to go. So first and foremost, we've got to understand between the difference of plantar and dorsiflex. If we have our heel pointed and our boot on, it can be very difficult for him to straighten the leg on his terms, okay? He has to find ways to lever my leg and push me away. It buys us a little bit of time. The moment we can get that flex on our foot, we're going to look to plant our foot to the ground and build our base. Once we're here, as long as I keep my weight in my front leg, if you try to balance me, it's going to be a bit difficult. Obviously, if you're strong, it's going to be easier. If you can connect to this second leg, we're pretty much done for. So we want to try and make sure we can never control this leg, and I'm putting my weight into that. Now, turning your knee in. Perfect way of defending the foot lock once you've got weight in this leg. So if I can, I'll start to turn my knee in. Ideally, in a perfect world for me, he's not as technically skilled. I can just start to clear the legs, and then from here we can pass in many numerous ways. Main thing to understand here, I can't let my foot get plantar flex, I think. I'm getting confused now, but I can't let my foot do ballerina toes. Here is not ideal. If he's chasing a heel hook, this would be perfect because he wants my foot like this. Okay, to get the break, he wants my foot bent. But to defend the heel hook, I'm going to straighten my toes. So we've got to play a difference. So if he's going for a foot lock, I'm keeping my toes flexed. Maybe he goes to switch to a heel hook, I point my toes. Now he can't catch the heel, now he switches back to a foot lock, and we can run into that circle. But that's what jiu-jitsu is, that's why it's so fun. So first and foremost, I plant the foot, I start to build my base. Here, if I like to be more movement based, I'll bring my hips forward. Now this means that, like, once again, I've gone from 50-50, 70-30. 70% of my weight's on this side. Now I can start to use my hands to clear the feet. I can start to circle around and pass in that sense. Let's say we're on our knee. Regardless of it is, well, let's say his foot's on this side, for example. We can go for counter attacks if they're leaving the legs open. So let's switch just a little bit. If my partner is not very disciplined with his foot position, we can catch the heel here and we can get quite a devastating tear on the knee. So when you're training these, be mindful, especially in competition, if we leave that heel out and we're not pointing our toe and keeping our heel in, it can be pretty easy to catch that heel. Especially if they go like this is even worse. So always be aware of that, yet we're looking to keep that foot there. You'll get people trying to attack foot like this. Unless they're very strong, it's going to be difficult, but yeah, all he has to do is straighten that foot and we clear that problem. Another escape I like to use is when his legs are on single legs. Ideally, this would be my favourite time to escape before he's pummeled, because now we can play other games. So, if we're in the single leg X, the first thing I'm going to do once again, plant my weight down, control both feet, hip comes forward, clear the legs, and then we can either start to pass backwards or back up. Start to pass all the way around, and then how comfortable you feel with your passing. Go back to single leg X. Another option we can do, which is a little bit fancy, is we can go for a berimbolo from here. So, I don't know how many of you follow Jiu-Jitsu, especially the sports scene. There's a guy called Tasmania. He's from Poland. He's got the best straight ankle lock in the world. I trained with him for about 3 weeks in Texas. And they're very thankful. He laid off everybody besides me. We just like people. We trained a lot, and the guys that we trained with were world class. He broke every one of their legs. And by break, I don't mean like break to the point where the bone snaps. I mean break to the point where the tendons pop. Really hurts to walk on for about 3 to 4 weeks, and there's a lot of black and blue bruising. So every time I heard him roll with somebody, you hear snap, like.
I felt fine for the rest of the night, and the next day I couldn't walk, and I was fucked for like 3 or 4 months.
The adrenaline's an amazing thing, and the moment you wake up next morning, go leave back. So something to keep in mind as well, when we're practicing leg locks, like, it's good to see how flexible you are, but let's not do that when we're like, let's do it when both partners are aware. Okay, hey guys, let's see how comfortable we feel at end range positions. I always spend some time training that before we try to see how far it can go in comp, because it can wind up being pretty sore. So another escape that I actually prefer to use the most, I'll even wear it in an open guard. I'll sometimes step my leg in, so he goes to the single leg X. Yeah, now from here, whether or not I clear this, I'm not too fussed. Even if I'm on a hip, that's fine. I just pummel my left leg in. See this? I'll pummel my left leg in here. Now he tries to bridge and extend on my foot. I can actually, helps me a little bit. It won't save me, but it'll help me just a bit. The main thing I'm looking to do now, we just do like this. Anything? I'm looking to clear this knee line. So I'm looking to extend with my left, bring my hips over the top, and now from here, we can roll and start to take it back. Very flashy. I'll say it works for me most because I think not many people do it. This was actually shown to me by Mateus. He's like, just put your foot there, make sure they can't break it, and then go for it. But notice, this position, you can't hit it from. Okay? This position, if I try to go for a berimbolo, I'm actually putting my foot further into the, even if you keep the foot lock, I'm actually turning my foot like, to get the berimbolo, I have to roll with it. So yeah, you've got it pretty tight now. For me to roll out of here is not going to be ideal. Here, whenever the foot's here, I'm looking to drive my foot back to the ground, once again come up. But let's just say, he's got that single leg X. Yeah, here, if I can't clear this leg, maybe he's very tight, I'll be looking to pummel in, making sure I keep my foot safe, starting to drive up. Even here, I can just come up the top. Look at his leg on the inside. I can open his leg, now he tries to off-balance me. Pretty easy to get my weight heavy over his hips. But let's just say he does have a tight grip on the ankle. Yeah, I do manage to pummel this leg in, even if he has a knee on the inside. That's fine. I'm looking to post on this. Get my hips over the top, and then from here next, I start to attack the back. Okay? Don't know if anybody wants to give that one a go, but that's the general. Trying to defend my foot, make sure I keep it flexed, start to clear the legs. If you want to give that a go on me,